everyone, I'm the Rev, and in this video I'm going to talk about this, the Conspit 310 Apex. So this is going to be a quick user review. I'm not a reviewer by any stretch. There are many people out there that do reviewing far better than me, but what I can tell you is if it's decent enough from a user's perspective. So I'll start by saying that there's no sponsorship, there's no affiliate deal, there's no nothing here between me and Conspit. I'm a customer just like you. I bought this wheel out of my own money that I made doing my 9-to-5 job. Not that it makes any difference because I am an affiliate of SimLab. I'll still tell the truth when it comes to their products in the same way that I will about the Conspit product that I bought with my own money. So last year I decided that I wanted to try a little bit of rallying, and I decided that I was going to need a round wheel. Plus there were some cars like the Super Tourers on Race Room and things like that. I felt it'd probably be better with a round wheel. So the search began. So just before Christmas last year, I saw a deal on the Track Racer website that meant that I could get this wheel, the Conspit Apex 310, for around about £265, which is a decent discount really, as it retails for around about £311, £312, plus a bit of postage. So a couple of days later, it arrived and we were ready to give it a go. Well, sort of. There was a little bit of a stumbling block, but I'll go into that at the end of the video. So what do you get in the box? So the box itself is very nice, it leaves a good first impression, and there is lots of stuff in the box. There is about 1 million stickers. You can customise this wheel so much. But personally, I've only stuck on the little bits that I needed onto the face. There's loads of stickers. You can really go to town if you wanted. But I feel that it looks a bit busy, so I just stuck on the little bits that I felt I needed. There's also a couple of little extra magnets in the box. They're provided so that you can change up how the shift feels, whether you want it to be a little bit stronger. So I went for the stronger 2-magnet shift, and it's much better. I much prefer having to use a little bit more force to use the shifters. As well as that, in the box you get an instruction manual, you get all the tools that you might need for adding a quick release and things like that, and you also get the USB cable. So you get absolutely everything that you could possibly need so that you can get going straight away. So how does it feel in your hands? Does it feel cheap when you first get it out of the box? Well, it's not a cheap piece of equipment really. Don't get me wrong, it is in terms of how far you can go. You can get wheels that are £1,000, but I still don't think spending £265 on a steering wheel, it should feel cheap. Luckily, it doesn't, not for a second. It feels really sturdy, really heavy. It doesn't make any noise when you're using it. And in terms of the actual texture and the materials used, it all feels quite high end, to be honest with you. The leather around the top of the steering wheel and the little purple band at the top, I really like that so that you can see whether it's centered or not. I think that's fantastic. And the leather feels really good. The stitching's really nice. It all looks really professionally done. The plastics used, they seem decent, and I like all the rotary knobs. They've got a good click and a nice tactile feel to them. Nothing feels cheap. And the buttons are good as well. The buttons are nice to press. They've got a nice audible sound when you press them. No complaints about any of the materials or the build quality of the wheel whatsoever. The wheel comes with a 70mm adapter on the back so that you can choose to add your specific quick release for your wheelbase. For me, I added the Simucube quick release and it literally took 10 minutes to add, no issues whatsoever. The Conspit Link 2 software, it's okay. I wouldn't say it was magnificent, it's just alright. You can calibrate the lights, the buttons, the controls, the dashboard, all that you can do from the Conspit Link 2 software. It does have a little dashboard on the front, a little digital display, and you can choose to have that in a plethora of different versions. That's easily done via the software, and then once you've done it on the software, you just use a rotary knob on the wheel to change the dashboard. It's got loads of different options and it's a nice little touch. I like that. To be fair, I don't really look at it when I'm racing, but I think it's a nice touch to have. But the software was simple to use, if a bit bare bones, but it did everything that I needed, and I was up and running within the games quite quickly. The software found which games I had installed, and then you could also check which features of that particular game were supported by the wheel. I did think that was a nice little touch, I like that. So some features, for example, like a fastest lap time, the wheel couldn't read that from the game. So it was good to know that that was the reason that the game just didn't support this particular wheel at this moment in time. In terms of when you're actually physically using the wheel, no complaints whatsoever. As before, feels really sturdy, doesn't make any kind of random sounds or creaks or anything like that, and it feels really good in the hands. As I say, the leather, the material, really nice, and the shifts are good. The buttons are all in good places. I found everything easy to set up, easy to use, and so far every game that I've tried has supported this wheel. That's Le Mans Ultimate, Race Room, Assetto Corsa, you name it, it's supported this wheel, which is great. Now, what about the little bump in the road? Well, when I first got the wheel, there was a card inside that said it passed quality assurance. However, when I plugged a USB cable into the steering wheel itself, it just wouldn't stay in. No matter what I tried, it just would not stay in. And I was expecting a bit of a wait and a bit of a battle to get a replacement. However, within a week, I had a brand new wheel side adapter and USB cable sent to me. I installed that. That one worked perfectly, felt really sturdy, solid as a rock, and I was ready to go. So in terms of customer service, as I say, I'm just a customer, purchased this with my own money, and from a customer service point of view, Conspit were brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and as such, I would be happy to purchase another one of their wheels in the future, and I may yet do just that. So what's my final thoughts? As I say, not a reviewer, not by any stretch, just a user. So from a user's perspective, is the wheel worth £265 that I paid? Yes, without a shadow of a doubt. It feels very different to drive a Super Tourer with a round wheel than it does using my Formula wheel. If anything, it just adds a little bit more immersion, and it also means that on like Assetto Corsa Evo, for example, I just feel a bit more at home driving the road cars, as well as Assetto Corsa Rally, which in my opinion you definitely need a round wheel for. So yeah, this wheel has been worth the money. Would I pay the £311 that it is when it's at its standard price? Well, after using the wheel, I would say yeah, I would. But prior to that, I probably would have shopped around a little bit more just to see if I could find something a little bit lower, as I think £250 was really just within my budget. So for me, it's been brilliant. I really love using it, and I'd recommend it to you. As I say, just a user, and I found it really good. And the customer service was brilliant. As always, I've been the Reverend. Thank you very much for watching.